how to care for cacti. Now, before I start talking about that, I want to address the elephant in the room, because I know a lot of people are going to comment this, that can you grow cacti at home? Feng Shui or some of the interior rules say that you cannot grow cactus at home because it brings in bad luck, or people tend to fight. All that I have to say is that I do have a good collection of cacti at home, and I believe that people fight. How can plants really make you fight? But I would leave that decision up to you. I will share how you can grow cacti at home and how they're actually very easy plants to grow. In fact, if you're somebody who travels a lot but you still want some greenery at home, cacti, I believe, are the perfect plants. So they do look tough on the outside, and sometimes they can also be prickly, but they're really soft and forgiving. It is a succulent that thrives on neglect and wouldn't mind even if you forget to water them on more than one occasion. They're very forgiving. No wonder one can make them their favorite plant. In fact, I think for beginners they are a great choice. Now, cacti is a general term that is given to kinds of succulents that have this prickly thorn on them. It represents thousands of varieties. You can find them in different shapes, in different sizes. Luckily for us, they all have similar plant care, so we don't bother about the name so much. They're native to arid and semi-arid areas. They do not require a lot of water, but they require a lot of sunlight. You can keep them outdoors or near a window so that they get about 8 to 10 hours of daily sun. If 3 to 4 hours direct sun comes to your window, that will also do the job. As for the temperature, anything above 25 degrees is great. Too hot or too cold for these kinds of cacti will not work out very well. They do not need a lot of fertilizer, but anything which has old compost will do the job. So the soil that I use for them is well draining and aerated. This is how you can prepare the succulent soil. It has some sand in it, it has some nutrition, that is compost, and some perlite. Now, when do you decide to water these cacti? Cacti do not require a lot of water. You can water these plants once in a week, once in 10 days. Or if you cannot decide, you don't understand what is the right time to water them, I would say that watch for your plant, let the soil completely dry out and then water. So what I'm going to do here is that I am going to pull out the soil from this cacti. Ideally, you should use gloves when you're handling these plants. I'm a little lazy. I do have gloves here with me, but I'm going to try pulling it out just like that. You see how the soil is coming out? It's completely dry. So even if the soil is completely dry, this will not kill the plant. So if you're a beginner and you've just started growing succulents, this is an exercise you can do with any kind of plant. You might kill a plant in this process, but it's okay. Learning is more important, and I believe nobody is born with a green thumb. So it takes time to develop that learning. You would see that the roots are quite healthy of this plant and the soil is just coming out. It's completely dry. Although on touching, you would know exactly if there's moisture or not. So I highly recommend doing that for your cacti soil. Now, when you water your cacti, unlike other indoor plants, cacti need very less amount of water to survive. You can water your plants once in a week or once in 10 days. Even if you forget to water your cacti, it's completely okay. People also use spray bottle. They try to spray their plants. I don't highly recommend that because the plants absorb water from soil and not from leaves or the top part of it. So I recommend using a watering can and then water your plants. In case you forget to water your plant, it's okay because they will store water in this upper part of their body, which is an adaptation of their leaves. If you see your plant is turning rusty or it's becoming brown or black or some sort of a fluid is oozing out, the best way to save your plant, I would say, is that try to propagate it. So this part I'm going to do right, and I'm going to wear gloves because I don't want to poke my fingers with these prickly things. Okay, here you would see lots of pups are coming out. What we're going to do is gently twist out a pup This is the reason I don't wear gloves. It's so difficult to show. Let me use something sharp. So these pups already have like tiny roots coming on them. I will also give you a close-up. And they actually come out very easily. And now what we do is, here I have this really cute miniature terracotta pots. We will fill them up with the succulent soil, and we will now place these pups on the top of this soil. Now, you don't have to add water at this stage. For a few days, let the plant develop roots, and then you can start watering once in 10 days or a week. With most succulents or cacti, the only problem is that overwatering will kill them. It can cause root rot, and too much water will damage the plant's delicate roots. Even if the topsoil looks dry, try not to water your plant. Remember, you can pull it out and see if the soil is dry or not. Very occasionally, you would see mealybugs, scales, mites also affecting your plant. I generally tell every gardener that have neem oil handy for whenever you're growing a bunch of plants. It can be very useful if you see any kinds of aphids or any kinds of insects. If the sunlight is perfect, if your plants, your cacti are getting about 8 to 10 hours of sunlight, they will also start blooming. You will see flowers coming out of them. If I have to summarize for the care of cacti, I would say they are very low maintenance plants. They thrive on neglect. I have repeated this many times. If you manage to grow them for a long time, you will see flowering as well, as I mentioned. I hope this video helps. We have shared similar basic gardening videos here. Remember to check them out. Thanks for watching.